In FPV, we sometimes wait for the perfect conditions before we fly. Good weather, the right mood and enough time. Everything has to feel just right before we plug in a pack. But sometimes those perfect conditions never show up. This week was one of those weeks for me. Still, I went flying anyway. It didn't feel ideal, but it was my only window, so I took it. Work was busy, life was busy, my head felt full and the weather didn't help much. A cold, grey day. Not terrible, but far from motivating for a flying session. Still, I knew this was the only chance this week to fly FPV, and I know myself, if I stayed home, the regret would hit the next day. Hello my friends and welcome back to the spot. Welcome to a brand new video. Before we begin, I have to say right away, today I'm not feeling it, and I know you are here for entertainment purposes, but since you are the only one around here where I can talk to, let me vent for a little minute. Last week we had to skip the session because work just didn't let me fly, and stuff happens. And also my quad was broken, as you could see in my last video. And it was an easy fix, just the RX antenna. When I try to fix my quad, it always explodes. What almost happened, we had some smoke, but I was able to save it. So this morning I finished it, and this afternoon we have to go out for a photo shoot. So a quick session before it, but my head is all over the place. So, but I know if I did not go now, that I will regret it tomorrow morning. It happens to be the best moment of the whole week to fly, because look at this. There is pretty much no wind. So the one and only goal for this morning is to get at least some packs in, and we will see where it goes. On the way to the spot, I started thinking about this habit of waiting. Why do I always feel the need for perfect conditions before flying? FPV doesn't demand that level of control. Maybe it's the fear of having a bad session, wasting packs and not flying well. It's strange how a hobby that's supposed to be fun, somewhere along the way flying became something I felt I needed to perform, instead of something I could simply enjoy as a drone pilot. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized most of the pressure doesn't come from FPV, it comes from me. So we've got the first pack in, and I gotta say, I almost forgot every problem I got this week. But I have a question for you guys. The first few packs, my goggles always are fogging up. Is there anything that can help to prevent this or make it go away faster? I know some scuba divers like to hack to a spit on that thing, but that doesn't seem to help really. Wait, what? You mean I have to spit on the goggles? Besides being a little bit cold, it's actually very nice. I mean, look at this, even the sun is coming through, no wind, and it's dry because it also has been raining a lot. After a few packs, the light started to change a bit. Nothing dramatic, just a small break in the clouds that made everything look a little bit brighter. I went for an old combo I hadn't done in a while. It didn't feel right at first, but after a few tries I managed to get a couple that felt good again. Nothing special, but familiar enough to settle in. As the session went on, I started to relax. It wasn't my best flying, but it cleared my head. And sometimes that's all a session needs to do. The combo went something like this: a eject right into a juicy flick, 360 roll, so you end up upside down again, and then into an inverted yaw spin, and then just fly away. I think that's a nice combo to work on now, because I kind of forget about it. When you do it right, it looks pretty cool. So let's try that. Perfect conditions rarely show up, and even when they do, we often raise the bar again. But the sessions we expect the least from usually help the most. There is no pressure, no expectation to perform, no need to push, just flying for the sake of flying. We don't need perfect weather or perfect mood to enjoy FPV. FPV doesn't need ideal conditions, it just needs you to show up as a pilot. So in the last pack I did one that felt pretty nice. Now before I have to leave in about 15 to 10 minutes, let's quickly drain those last 4 packs and let's call it a day. Near the end of the session, I felt lighter than when I started, and that alone made the trip worth it. Progress in the FPV freestyle doesn't come from perfect sessions, it comes from being consistent, even when things aren't ideal. Small imperfect flights add up. They keep your skills fresh, but more importantly, they keep your connection to the hobby alive. It reminds me that flying shouldn't be something I earn only on perfect days. It should be something I do because it helps me reset. Some days flying is simply not possible, life comes first, but on the days where flying might be possible, even if everything feels slightly off, just go. The footage might not be great, the tricks might be messy, but 9 times out of 10 you will feel better afterwards. And that matters more than chasing a perfect session that never happens.